Good morning, GLASW. How are you feeling today? Wonderful. I'm so happy to see your face. I just wanted to take some time to do a wonderful art activity with you today. But before we begin, let's recite our artistry affirmation. Do you remember what it is? It's okay if you didn't remember. Let's do it together. Just repeat after me. I am an artist. What I imagine, I can create. My life is a stage of possibilities, but there is no possibility I will ever quit. My voice will be heard. My dance will remove all fear. My drama will command an applause. To make use of my talent is why I am here. I am an artist. What I imagine, I can create. My creativity is a gift I must share with the world. Ashe. Wonderful. Today, we are going to work on how to turn ordinary objects into extraordinary objects. What do you mean, Miss Dutton? Well, things that we see every day that we don't think as creative are going to turn into something vibrant, pretty, and beautiful piece of art. Before we can begin, we have to remember the elements of art that we may be using in this activity. There are 7 elements of art. The first one is lines. Zigzag, curvy, horizontal, vertical, spiral. Then we have shapes. Circles, rectangles, triangles. Then we have forms, which turns more into 3D, where you have spherical, cylinders, cubes. Then there's space. That's how you work on your paper or on your canvas and how you spread those different things out. Then you have texture. That's more so a feeling. You have the bumpy, you have the smooth, you have the rigid, different textures. Then you have value. Value is how you monitor your color when you do shadings and hues. And then, of course, there's color. Red, orange, yellow, green. Roy G. Biv, we learned about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang this behind me so we can keep in mind the elements of the art while we are doing this activity. But today, we'll probably be using lines, shapes, and color mostly. Hope you can see that. If not, we just reviewed it. So, in order to do this art activity, you're going to need our ordinary object, which is a paper towel, bathroom, toilet tissue, or this is actually longer because this came from gift wrap paper, but it's the same texture. All of it is used the same way. You're going to need that. Next, you're going to have a pair of scissors. Yours will be more childproof than mine. You are going to need glue. You can use liquid glue or you can use a hot glue gun. But just to be safe, I would prefer you to use glue unless you're working and doing this activity with an adult. And last but not least, you are going to need whatever kind of media you're going to use to decorate your activity, which is crayons or markers or paint or watercolor. If you are going to use paint, this activity will take you a little bit longer because you're going to have to wait for your paper towel or your toilet tissue roll to dry before you are able to begin. So I didn't necessarily decorate mine because I'm just doing the tutorial. But you're going to take the time to decorate your paper towel roll and your toilet tissue roll or your gift wrap roll in whatever way you want to. But then the next steps after you've done the decorating would be to cut it up. So you are going to take your paper towel roll or your toilet tissue roll and you're going to flatten it out. Put it on your table. You're going to flatten it out. Once it was round, and now it is going to be flat. You're going to decorate it. You're going to color it whatever way you want to. And after it's dry, we're going to cut it. So we're going to begin to take some pieces and I'm going to cut them. Just like this. Pieces don't have to be very thick. They can be very slender in size. We're going to cut them all up. Keep cutting. Use those fine motor skills. So now I have pieces of toilet tissue roll or paper towel roll. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my glue to start creating my form of art. Very simple. Take your pieces and begin gluing them. You only need a dab. Just a dab. We're going to take the other piece and we're going to put them together at the tips. And then we're going to hold it for a count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Put that piece down and you're going to repeat the same thing. Make sure you have about 6 because that's what we're going to be using. 6 pieces. And we're going to do that over and over and over again. Once we've done that, we are going to begin putting the pieces inside of one another. So I have 2. I would take the second one and put it in the first one, of course, still using glue. After it is done and it dries, you will have this form. I took the time to do a few of them ahead of time just so that we could get a head start so you could see the ending product. So keep working. Put your pieces together. I'm going to keep working on the project over here. Again, this is just taking the ordinary everyday object that we would consider to be trash once we're finished using all the toilet tissue or all the paper towel, when in fact we could recycle it to use it for an art activity. Now don't forget to hold that together for 10 seconds. You're doing such a great job. This is going to be such a beautiful piece of art once you have finished everything and put it together. And if it sticks together a little bit, that's okay. Just gently pull it apart. what I'm going to do next after I have all of my pieces, I am going to glue those together as well. Take both of these, again, still with that 10-second rule of holding it together. Now I have 3 pieces. And here's my 4th piece. And if you want to take it a little bit further, there's more. I'm going to add these pieces on as well. I am adding these little pieces into the top just to keep adding. You can actually add as many pieces. You can make this as big as you want it to be. It actually can be used to decorate your wall, to create a very beautiful wall design. Now again, don't start gluing until you've colored, drawn, painted, and later, if you want, you can even also spray paint this project too to add in beautiful golds. You can embellish it with buttons or different little puff balls, whatever you want to do to make it your own creative piece of artwork. See, as it's continuing to grow. So when you think you have something in your house that is useless after you've used it for your purpose, let's get those creative juices going and think about how we could reuse it to create another form of art. I hope you've enjoyed this wonderful art activity. Just so you can get a better view of what it looks like, I'm going to put this piece of white paper behind it. And once you get more creative with it and start adding those other elements of art, like spiral, you can still do those things with this as well. You could fold it into a zigzag pattern. You could fold it into a wavy pattern just to make it more creative. This is one I did earlier in the week with my children. And after you're done, you can hang it on your wall. And it's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? So, that is how you turn an ordinary object into something extraordinary. Before I go, I want to teach you all how to do a watercolor paint if you're unfamiliar. Some of you may have a whole lot of dried out markers because you've lost all your caps. Well, have no fear. You can use it to turn it into a watercolor. It's simple. Taking your water, a cup, and adding water, and taking an old dried out marker and just sitting in it inside and letting the color that is left in filter into the water. And you'll just sit it to the side for a few hours until all the color comes in. You can shake it up occasionally just to give it some little encouragement to change colors. Also, if you happen to have other jars in your house and happen to have paint, all you have to do is pour a little bit of your paint into a smaller cup and add a little water, shake it up, more water than paint, more water than paint. Shake it up or mix it up with a paintbrush. Make sure all the color gets into the water, and then you have watercolor. I bought these little jars from the dollar store, so you can do the same. I can't wait to get back together to do another art activity. So be on the lookout because I'm coming back to visit you. Enjoy the rest of your day.